mentions of terrorism and gay people. There was saying basically that if you don't follow Jesus, you might be a murderer.
But he has a judge, right? He has a judge. He will leave it up to
there was incredibly. I mean, there was comments about the fact that black people were happy in the
pre-civil rights era.
That's the weird thing, that everybody's harping on the homophobia that he talks about, but then the ignorant, they're not hateful, so I don't call it racist, but completely ignorant, dinosaur age sort of pro-magna comments about black people don't get as much attention. This whole thing is not surprising, but it's still like, God, people really think like this. And like, I wasn't aware that the black people were suffering, so it didn't happen, right? They didn't tell me when we were out in the fields working together, so ergo it didn't happen. It's just so disgusting, this whole thing.
Well, this is the problem that conservatives have today. When a horrific statement is made, whether it be about women's rights or, homosexuality, for example, one of two things happen. You either have folks that silently disagree with it and feel like it's very disrespectful. They don't do anything about it. They stand idly by and let this play out.
Right.
Or you had, that was actually played out in the 2012 campaign with Romney with Sanders. Look, if you remember that, he said, not language I would have used. Not, you have
strong condemnation
Rush Limbaugh, who was calling her a prostitute and a slut. Now, he said that's not language I would have used. Or the other is that, you have an outpouring of support, which we've already seen from folks like Sarah Palin and Eric Erickson, who tweeted out, "I fully support Phil Robertson."
What are you supporting?
He stated Orthodox Christian views when asked. I would hit back at Eric Erickson and say that the A&E has every right to fire him, because this is not taking away your First Amendment right, or your right of free speech, rather. This is really about disrespecting the network and disrespecting your fellow Americans.
Who was it? Was it Josh Barrow who had that great tweet that you talked about today? I'm sorry, Bobby Jindal, but Phil Robertson doesn't have a constitutional right.
A First Amendment right
to
have a reality show.
I mean,
right.
Gee, you want to be on television and you want to get all the things that come with it. Well, when you say stupid stuff, whether it's on television or not, and you get criticized, you have to, and when it's really bad, you have to suffer the consequences. But I have to say, and I'm glad you brought up the racial stuff here, but there's a piece in that story that I don't think a lot of people caught. Phil Robertson's grandson, Willie's son, is adopted, and he's biracial. And that comes towards the end of the piece, after you've read everything that he has said about gay people, about women, about African, blacks are happy in the pre-civil rights era, and then you read that he has a biracial grandchild. What environment is that child living in? What is that child learning? And for me, the thing is, what will that child have to unlearn when he gets older?
But you know how this goes, right? The people who are close to you, who you don't mistreat, but the people you don't know, who are abstractions, those people you think negatively about. I can't with this story.
Corey was speechless. This is a